Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be beginning the narration character voice acting for the first of 1,000 Autumns story. So then, our 9th story in the Sui saga is here, and this one is definitely going to be something. 8 stories plus 1 gameplay mode, IS6 or Garden of Groutesqueries, worth of build-up leading all the way up until this story right now. There's gonna be a lot in this story, I can already tell. I haven't even finished it, but by the beginning, there's gonna be already a lot, I can tell. But before we get into this story and I present it to you guys, I hope you're gonna enjoy it. There's gonna be some extra material in today's episode as well, and going forward with the series, but I'll discuss that in a moment. So for everybody, please stick around for the opening so I can explain a couple of things before we head into the story itself. And that is going double towards the old heads of the channel. Do not skip ahead. You will be confused, especially if you've seen the cutscenes already and something happens that should not be there. You'll be confused. But anyway, I'll explain in a second. First and foremost, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover series through this video, welcome. I hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. And as always, to anybody who is both new to the channel and especially new to Arknights and is watching this and listening to this, the age-old question: do you need to know anything before heading into this story? And I kinda already answered that, so let me elaborate a tiny bit. I will not stop you from just watching this, so enjoy if you want to, but this is a story that had 8 stories set prior to this one. To be fair, one of those 8 stories is kind of like a companion piece to everything. It's not really a very rigidly placed story in there. It kind of branches off on its own, but it's still part of the whole narrative in a way. Specifically meaning here a death in Shunfen, which is the story following Chubei, but yeah, it's still counted in the whole series leading up until here. But yeah, we had a lot of stories, a lot of lead up. IS6 was also serving as a lead up, so there is a lot. But for anybody who wants to catch up with the series so far, with all of the stories, every single playlist is linked in the description of the video. They're all voiced, narrated, voice acted, discussed. There's a lot of extra stuff in there, so enjoy the catch up. There has been a lot of build up, not only pretty much characters that will be making a reappearance in this story especially, but there has been a lot of lead up essentially, and explanations and character introductions and plot and build up. I don't think I need to go further, right? I think everybody gets what I mean by that. But yeah, for everybody who does continue with this episode going forward and hasn't seen the prior part, if you're gonna be confused about characters or their agendas or who they are, or feel like they don't have enough screen time or something, do note that most of them have already appeared in the series. They had their spotlight, they had their explanations, especially the Sui siblings, the playable ones specifically, that have been appearing throughout the series so far, have had their moment to shine and be explained, and you get to understand them as characters as well on top of everything. So yeah, there's a lot going into this story, and I would honestly recommend catching up first before heading in, because just of the sheer amount of extra information you're gonna be picking up along the way. Plus, you get to bond with the characters. That's probably the most important part, or one of the most important parts about a continuing story, right? But yeah, there's a lot, and all I can say is enjoy, and thank you very much. Also, as a bonus little material, I will leave the playlist for the live streams that I was doing over the last several months for IS6 in there as well. They contain specific episodes as well or streams rather, that where I'm beating the specific endings, the individual endings. You'll be able to tell by the titles of each episode when I'm pursuing an ending or have beaten an ending, that is. And on that topic as well, as of this recording right now, I have not beaten ending 5 yet. So I have not seen the cutscene, I don't know the lore from it, but I will be doing more streams as this series is gonna be going on as well, so keep an eye out for the streams when they get essentially placed on YouTube. You'll see them beforehand, before they happen, but there's also gonna be the VODs, so you can catch up with those in there as well. But yeah, there's a lot. So enjoy once more. Now, for everybody else continuing, and the old heads specifically, and speaking of IS6, Garden of Groutesqueries. So, there will be, in this specific series, there will be intermissions. And by intermissions, I mean, at certain points throughout all of these cutscenes and stuff that is going to be happening with this story, there's going to be cutscenes and blocks of text and stuff that are going to be fusing into the whole thing, that are going to be adding essentially to flash out everything. And they will be mostly coming from the cutscene endings from IS6, from Garden of Groutesqueries, the blocks of text, and the specific excerpts from the character stories, the monthly character added stories that have been placed into the game over the last several months. So there's gonna be some intermissions. There's hopefully not gonna be a lot of them. I have to see what I'm gonna be adding when I start editing this episode. Yeah, there's gonna be intermissions. You'll be able to tell when they are gonna be happening, as you're gonna see a graphic on screen and hear me say stuff. So it should be obvious when one is happening. But I'm placing them specifically in there because I know most people don't see IS stuff, and also because I feel like that stuff is gonna be fleshing out this narrative a tiny bit more as well on top of it. Plus, I guess you can count this series as a director's cut because of it. This is not gonna be your normal first of 1,000 autumns. This is gonna be the expanded one. But yeah, hopefully it's gonna make sense why some are there. There might also be, not gonna be probably in today's episode, but might also in future parts gonna be like small excerpts, or actually the entire stories from like the Sui sibling module stories, because those also add a bit to the atmosphere as well. But I'll see how the story is going to be continuing in future parts, and we'll see what else I can add in there. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of intermissions. Hopefully not too many, but just enough. And please, just note, I will not be adding everything. Not everything from IS6 is necessary to be fused in. I know someone is gonna be super excited out there. Ooh, he's adding IS6 stuff. Stop. Calm down. Not everything in there is important. But the things that I'm gonna be adding are purely by my choice and my feeling of, I feel like this adds a bit of an element, like an extra little detail that will add to the atmosphere, essentially. So yeah, please note. But anyway, enough of the pre-ramble. I hope everybody is on the same page now, and let's begin. So, in today's first part, we're gonna be covering the story from, obviously, the introductory cutscene all the way to the end of stage number 2. And like I said earlier, there's gonna be extra stuff, so keep an eye and an ear out. And with that said, let's begin with our first introductory cutscene. TAST-1. Unfailing Recitation. Ever in mind. Intermission. Excerpt from Zuala's character story. Subject: War. Clouds darken and wind howls, lightning flashes and thunder rolls. The 5 thunders crackle and roar, and the sky is split asunder. There is one issue with using the might of the thinck instead of grand installations. The bamboo wings they fly upon are simple things, and they cannot easily evade the Faramut's attacks. After enduring that first mighty blow, the Faramut staggers to its feet, causing mountains to quake and men to watch helplessly as their comrades fall into rifts in the earth, once that tear open all around them and converge. A single flick of the Faramut's tail, and the gust it summons sends half of the bamboo wings plummeting to the ground. Dust and wailing fills the air. If they do not slay it before all the wings crash, then the battle is lost, along with this opportunity. Each bolt of lightning called by the thinck strikes its vitals. On its stomach is a forge, and plates of iron protect it. Soldiers on the ground crawl atop crushed boulders to attempt firing crossbow bolts with rope attached to subdue it. But they are far weaker than their giant cousins, and soon all the ropes are snapped. There must be a way to have it expose its weak point, at least just for a second. I shall take to the field. The young general calmly takes hold of a waiting beast kite. This part of the strategy nobody objected to. He downs some pills prepared earlier, then launches the beast kite, evading the Faramut's sweeping tail. From atop the bamboo wing, he leaps down, landing atop its back. The pills gradually take effect as he lands. He loses grasp of his senses. His ears do not hear, his nose does not smell. With senseless sense, there is no truth or falsity, no distinction between form and image. He also loses grasp of his thoughts. With thoughtless thought, there is no link between cause and effect, no chain stopping him from coming and going as he pleases. He sees only a sliver of the dim light, as if the Faramut's eyes are burning with rage after finding its attacks ineffective. After his agile, graceful landing, his muscle memory lights a fuse, running a trail of explosive powder along the mountain ridge, ensuring it falls into the gaps under the Faramut's armor. It is a wonder how, from formulation to execution, he has never once hesitated in carrying out the plan. At this very moment, all that occupies his mind are gentle sights. His father giving him a rare smile of approval, his mother making him local snacks. Worried he might be homesick, the flaming beacons atop the city walls, sweet and sour fruit of buckthorn. Boom! A peal of thunder echoes as the Faramut's flesh is blasted apart, striking its vitals. It writhes in pain before finally being buried under crumbling mountains. It is still. Across the battlefield, the bamboo wing that rescued the young general dashes against a rock. At the Anshe with a face covered in blood, cursing the foolhardy plan while shoving an antidote into the plan maker's mouth. Yet another victory, bought with the sacrifice of countless lives. For whatever reason, the cheers of the victorious troops die out. They pull what few survivors they find from the rubble and, leaning against one another, head on home. Intermission. End. Year and place unknown. A Feng Shi from afar says there is a great mountain on the northern border called Jing, and atop it sits a mystical stone called Wa. Thousands of meters wide and tall, shaped like a jewel, the color of crystal. It shines with a brilliant blaze and a luster that never wanes. It cuts both metal and stone, brings forth all things with methods unknowable, with principles unfathomable. Obtain this miraculous object, and perhaps it will help Yun face the coming calamity.
I don't get it, sir. We sacrificed so much for this, yet you intend to hand it over to the House of Yun? That man started the war in the first place, and sent thousands to perish. Why would you aid the despot?
We wish to free the masses from suffering, not to aid a single ruler. Fate shall play its hand in time. No one person controls it. I only pray for an early end to the strife, that the people would no longer suffer its torments. Yes. Yes. This is, the fate of Great Yan. Year 1102, late autumn, Lungmen. Yo, still working? Madamoni, Hoshiguma, sir. Last Mid-Autumn Festival, downtown was flooded with people watching the festival lanterns. Patrol didn't have enough hands to keep everyone off the roads. It almost got hairy out there. The commissioner was fuming over it. Oh, probably shouldn't have done that. The whole squad got punished for it. Double patrol hours for the month. The commissioner even told us to be extra careful now since Chief Wei has been out of town. Sure, better safe than sorry. Well, good work, boys. I did just happen to bring in some chow, so share it amongst yourselves. We can't possibly take all this. Come on, listen to your stomach growling. Have a bite. Wait, what was that? It came out of nowhere. What kind of thunderclap was that? Wait, am I seeing things? Over there in the sky. What is that? Boatman, slow us down. Look over there. Do you see something on the river? A back beast? But how is it on the river? And it's carrying a goblet? Just a mirage. What's so special about that? Don't you get those in Go-Wu City? Brick. Huh? What's with the sudden rain? Where'd the backpiece go? Autumn rain this year. May well freeze my bones. Reporting in! Report! The Faramut has reached the final center post. Red alert! Repeat, all units on maximum alert! Whoa, cow! That thing doesn't look like a creature at all. That's a damned mountain! Excuse me, sir. The Grand Commandant is sick abed and will not see anyone, so please... Is the Grand Commandant in? Yes. Bring me to him. In my fever dreams, it wasn't as if I'd seen the late. I thought you were the late Emperor, here to take me away. I know you often think of the late Emperor, but I fear anxiety has addled your brain, if you're thinking about your end already. Your Imperial Majesty, you honor me with your presence. Forgive this servant. I failed to rise for even a salutation. How have you deteriorated so greatly in the few days since our last meeting? Are you taking your medicine? I beg your Majesty's understanding. This consumption is a stubborn chronic illness. The abnormal weather this mid-autumn struck with the cold. I fear this bison shell may not make it through the winter. You are a trusted servant of Great Yan, and should not sell yourself short. How could the same man who once kept countless foreign foes halted at our gates dread a mere cold? Beity. ease and coalesce. I await your swift recovery, and for you to share my burdens and aid the nation once you are well.
This adult servant is in truth ill-suited to the task. Great Yan today is rich with talent. Your Imperial Majesty decides all matters, great and small. So I seek counsel from this withered servant.
I see. So the Grand Commandant is unsatisfied with my arbitrary actions and wishes to return home due to his illness.
This humble servant would never dare.
In the last 2 weeks, ministers across the bureaucracy and all throughout the land have stacked petitions urging war high on my desk. Everyone is passionate, and a few I would venture to call desperate. So for the Grand Commandant to claim illness at this hour, is this to compel me to?
Your Majesty is indeed aware. All Yannis share a view on this age-old problem. Your Majesty may not believe me, but ought to have faith in this. The will of the people.
I'll be willing to try any other possible solution as long as we can avoid spilling the blood of our troops too readily. I had thought you would know best my mind on the matter.
Your Majesty is well versed in our history. Surely you must know. Across the many times the blood did not to be shed. When was it ever avoidable? One ought to act swiftly when necessary. Indecisive efforts for want of perfection will only lead to more bloodshed. I had thought Your Majesty understood this long ago. It has been more than 2 weeks since the great offender entered the tomb of Sui, but his fate remains unknown. All Great Yan is in an uproar, not only due to the 5 Fairmoots, but the presence of foreign foes as well. Leave him in the tomb for even 1 more day, and the danger to Great Yan will increase tenfold. This is not my opinion alone. Even if I could temporarily suppress public sentiments for your Majesty's sake, it would be no true solution.
So, how do you want to go about it?
I cannot ask your Majesty to resign an imperial edict. I can only make an earnest request to set a final deadline until which Great Yan must hold.
Whether or not blood should have ever been shed will be determined thousands of years from now by historians and common folk alike. But for now, I am afraid neither the Grand Commandant nor I will get to make that determination. Is it Great Yan that cannot hold, or the collective lusts for glory?
Your Imperial Majesty.
But your request is not without merit. I recall it was the day after the full moon when he went in. The next day of the full moon it is. If the man fails to achieve anything in the tomb of Sui, then we will proceed as the Grand Commandant proposes.
Your Imperial Majesty is wise and just.
Let it be so. A cold is no grave illness, Grand Commandant. But convalescence is still important. I hear Danyan snow peers are a great expectorant. I'll send for some. Finish the peers before you rest for the night, and your illness should be cured in the morning. I will hold court early tomorrow. Do not be late. Intermission. Cutscene for Ending 1 in IS6 Garden of Groutesqueries. In this ending, Zuola, Lin Qingyan, and Yun Qingping fight against Liang, Yi, and Geists as part of the ritual in the garden. While they bicker over hierarchy, the Candleholder and the Tianche have reached a sort of tacit understanding after slaying so many Geists together. The moment Liang shows the sliver of a weak spot, Zuola thrusts his sword forward, while Lin Qingyan has already prepared her final blow without much talking between the two. Auntie! Pardon me? Were it any ordinary mortal, that swing would have easily taken their life. But Lin Qingyan's Kantong blade is suddenly wrapped in mist as cloud merges with thunder, stopping the strike's momentum. Stow your blade, Tianche Lin. The Sui's chi has scattered. Your mission can be considered complete. Flawlessly even. Your hard work is appreciated. It is only now that the true appearance of the Master of the Garden of Groutesqueries is clear for all to see. Lin Qingyan hesitantly sheathes her blade and looks around. As the Master of the Garden said, the pink and mint green shade pervading the landscape is slowly fading away, revealing nature's original visage. Liang, I leave these guests to you.
Alright. First, allow me to congratulate everyone on this successful rite.
That's it? But you didn't do...
Of course, Candleholder Zuo. A ceremony is no battle of life and death. I believe this vantage point will provide a good view. Tianches everywhere are withdrawing. The three roaming Geists retreat into the scenery, while lamp holders and candle wielders clean up. This rite conducted on Yan's behalf has come to a close.
Could it be that Zuola here was looking forward to picking up an ancient artifact and stepping atop clouds to battle against a Faramut's shadow with their lives on the line? I was not. I simply thought the rite would end inside the mountain shrine.
The rite has always ended here. The Memorial Hall makes it look more official, and it also assures the Mandarins in Baizao that all is well. Once you take the seal, you may descend the mountain for your mission report.
Who should I give it to? It was a candleholder's right, so a candleholder should take it.
I'm just a temporary candleholder, so you two should decide. Deputy Minister Lin is the most senior official here, so she ought to have it.
No need to hem and haw over a mere token, Tianche. Please, take it.
Very well.
Liang respectfully hands Yi's jade rule to the Tianche, and slowly floats back to Yi after she receives it with equal decorum.
I hope Mr. Liang and Minister Yi will forgive us for our many transgressions this time.
Minister E? You know, few would address me by that title. Liang handles most things at the Ministry of Works, and I contribute little.
Before we descend, Mr. E, there is a question that perhaps you could answer.
If you mean to ask how the garden came about, how many rules I still have with me, must I send them to the Imperial Court every year, or does the Ministry of Works want me working on something similar? Well, forget about that. Zuo is lost.
The court has its own reasons for coming up with this seal handover ceremony. But I was simply curious. Why were the garden gates open to the general public, with its myriad dangers within?
An excellent question. With your Tianchi knowledge, no doubt you're aware of the feng shui here, and know what lies beneath the garden. The Sui's qi oozes from below, and the geists run rampant. This is why we conduct an annual ceremony, keeping both the Sui regulator and the Tianchi bureaus busy. The dangers here mean only the most elite Tianchi will come. Just as your ancestor once did, Tianchi Lin.
My grandfather has certainly mentioned the place.
But 3 centuries ago, someone came up with a new idea. Keeping the Sui in check has never been a responsibility borne only by the Tianchi Bureau, the Imperial Guard, and the Ministry of War. In the past, slaying the Sui was a public endeavor, so why not continue the practice now? Even I thought it was a joke at first. Suppressing the Sui's qi with mortal effort? Absurd. But now, as the Garden of Groutesqueries opens up, the rite gets easier year by year. Perhaps there will come a day when even ordinary mortals can stand here at the summit and enjoy a panoramic view of Baizao.
This has been most enlightening.
Shall I have Liang see you down the mountain?
Thank you, but that will be unnecessary.
Oh, right. Just a moment, Tianchi Lin. There is one more thing I've been meaning to ask.
Go on.
The blade in your hand must be the Kantong passed down in the Lin family.
Indeed.
I don't know how attached you are to it, but I was just thinking my weapon collection could use a legendary armament like...
I shall take my leave now, so please excuse us.
Wait, we haven't even discussed the price. I could have made a good offer. Would it have hurt to hear me out?
Candleholder Zuo's blade was also passed down in his family for generations. Are you not interested in that one?
Why would I want to display a blade of tyranny in my home? What? Is the Ministry of Works already looking for you to verify their records?
Understood.
Go then. Then I shall get going as well. Yi's gaze is a little lost, and the name he fails to call out finally turns into a sister. He turns around to look at the memorial hall, bereft of even a single word. Your suggestion from 3 centuries ago has proven quite fruitful. I hope this garden's vibrant life brings you joy. We won't forget you so easily. After this, the trio proceeds to undertake many more visits to the garden, and they complete the ceremony many times over and over again. Intermission end. 3 days before the day of the full moon. Are we outside?
Those pheromone proxies have quite the mystical prowess. Is the placation finally complete?
Perhaps. No, just how many times have we tried? Is that complete? How long have we spent in the Garden of Groutesqueries?
Based on the dates on the Tianqi Bureau's terminal, it's been more than 2 weeks since we entered the garden.
More than half a month? Why do I feel as if we've spent even longer than that? We don't know if anything's happened to the Tomb of Sui since we've been here. Zuo, you asked how many times? I am getting the sense this isn't our first time standing on this spot. Concluding the placation, taking the Jade Rule, leaving the garden, and going back to town. I feel like we've done it all multiple times, and also, sometimes it's Mr. E who greets us, while other times the weiqi player blocks our path. Sometimes the bestial Ho turns into a butterfly and gravely injures the bestial Sui, but other times we fall into a geist trap and get chased out of the garden for no apparent reason.
And this hunch isn't a recent realization?
It was a faint feeling at first, but it was only just now that I suddenly realized we seem to have been repeating our garden visits. If that is the case, maybe the placation is finally complete? I certainly hope that's the case. Right, who has the token? It seems Mr. E hands the rule to a different person each time we complete the rite.
I don't have it.
Neither do I. Then a small object falls from Zula's pocket. To everyone's surprise, it is no Jade Rule, but a tiny doll. What? Auntie Lin, Yun, have we seen this before?
Yo! So you made it out alive! Pretty tough, huh?
Zushi! Zushi.
Why are you calling me that when you're not even a Tianqi disciple, kiddo?
How should I address you then?
Who cares about titles? Your Qinggong's good, and you move quick. So just get to wherever you need to be.
Where do I need to be?
What should a candle holder do after getting the token from the garden?
Return to the Sui regulator and submit the Jade Rule along with the report.
Then be gone. No more dawdling.
But the Jade Rule...
A token's a token. Maybe there's a reason you didn't get the Jade Rule this time. But just hurry back to the Sui regulator already. Or are you scared that Proxy is gonna report you for theft?
Tianbei, there's something I'd like to ask about Baizao.
Just be quick. Who's the candle holder here? You or me? Won't you know the answer once you see the city yourself anyway? Act your age. I'm sure you know how to adapt to a situation, don't you?
Yes.
I'll go with Zula. You stay!
Zushi?
Baizao doesn't have much use for a judiciary at the moment, so it'd be a pointless trip for you. You'll be more useful here. Same goes for the Yun kid. Neither of you is a member of the Sui regulator, so stay. You'll make less trouble for all of us.
The three exchange glances and silently agree to the Tianqi's directive. Zula puts the token back into his pocket, and after bidding farewell to the party, leaps off northward. Old, Tianbei, there's something I want to ask. Where is the young lady who claimed to be of the Shanghai Yong? The one you took away before we entered the tomb?
Oh? I didn't think a dimwit like you would concern yourself with that, lass.
I just remembered, she mentioned there was something from the garden that could keep Yan and the bestial Sui from coming to blows. You granted us permission to enter the garden, but you didn't examine the token Zuele had at all. Does that mean,
You believe she spoke the truth? How intriguing. Smarty pants like you are so different from the martial types. Of course, I believe you have your reasons for sending him alone, but I'm worried Zuela might come to harm if the token is truly important. Huh. To speak of safety, no one's truly safe right now. If that kid really has what it takes to be a candle holder, now is the time to show it.
What's wrong? I rarely ever see you so down.
I just worry they might not manage to deliver the token. Those who know what the token truly is can only stand and watch, while those helping us don't even know where it should go.
That old Tianchi has already done us a grand favor. The rest is up to the family's fate.
I didn't think those youths would get involved in this, and I'm not sure whether to be relieved or worried.
Many have come to this garden over the past century. But this group of youngsters was the first to retrieve that glimmer of hope from our memories, left behind and bring it back to this realm. No matter what, we must believe that their fates are somewhat linked to ours.
You speak sense, sir.
Well, myriad sights abound in the land, but encounters are still up to fate. You could buy a ticket early, do your research, memorize the map, stand outside the garden until it opens, but then a storm comes, and you see nothing at all. Or you could enter through a random side gate and roam around aimlessly, but as long as you have a goal in mind, you might be pleasantly surprised by what you find. Visitors come with interest, but it always wanes with time. It's not proper to force this enthusiasm to endure. So let's just relax and wait here, and protect this garden. This beautiful place is honestly quite difficult to abandon. Intermission. Excerpt from Ending 4. Unlockable Text, Part 3. Title: In Truth, Returned. The elderly carpenter and a group of disciples bid farewell to Zhe, leaving this land that will soon descend into chaos. Even though they have walked far, Zhe can still hear their weeping. Many of them had been born under Zhu's steps and had confronted Faramut and humanity both in order to stop the two sides from coming to conflict, in accordance with Zhu's teachings. But now war has come. A war between man and Faramut, a war between species, a war that promised no rest nor quarter. Zhe took those that followed it, those who were close, to become its elves, and drove them out. This way, they would not have to suffer the pain of choice. It was also so that it may implement what gave its life meaning without burden. Those rules that had formed between it and them, and the vision of peace it had preached. A low hum echoes across the land, and a mountain steadily emerges by Zhu's side. Once they were as beasts, unthinking and uncommunicative. Humanity's arrival not only changed the land, but it also irreversibly changed how Fahrenmuts treated one another. At the very least, in this age of imminent extinction, cooperation becomes a choice, just as humanity behaves. They sense the gaze of Sui falling upon them, along with the hostility and pride within that gaze. As for them, not even the most ancient and venerable Ho holds even a wisp of anger in its heart. The trickle humanity had fed Sui has matured after many years of evolution. His curiosity and arrogance have changed it completely. Zhe and Ho are well aware that it has long been the Faramut who must resemble humanity. Its command over humanity, using them to slaughter its kin, no different than any other king in human history. But this is its nature, its governing rule, its essence of being. With evolution as its base, it has destined to look at its kin from angles they could not perceive. In the aftermath of this inevitable clash of biology, Zhe and Ho accept this outcome. And so, after reprimanding this excessive, unnatural portion of evolution, they will give their bodies onto Sui. But nature's cycle renews when the law nears perfection, for in time they shall return. Intermission end. Unknown place.
What a bother. I'm getting a sore throat repeating the same argument over and over. We're back to square one, no? Thousands of years we've debated, and it seems nothing's getting through the thick head of yours. You're the stubborn one. Whatever scholarly talents you have are negated by your expertise in nonsensical argumentation. The truth is simple. There is no order without rules. To live in this realm, one must be able to tell right from wrong. If it really is as you say, for everyone to blur boundaries and confuse right and wrong, what sort of chaos would befall this realm? Preposterous. Your insistence on adherence to rules is nothing more than locking yourself in a prison of your own making. Let me ask you then, to build a room, a house, a city, a moat, there are rules to follow, yes. But when we measure merits and errors made in history, or the hearts of the masses, what rules or metrics are we to abide by? Of course, rules are made to fit the situation and for mortal benefit. When have I ever said rules should be set for the sake of having them?
Where are we? And who are you?
Fine. Then let me ask you this. You say we must have rules, but then who should set them in the first place? The virtuous, of course. Only they can convince the masses, and rules can only stand when accepted by all. Don't you see the problem with that? We have to first find virtuous people to set rules. But what deems one virtuous? Doesn't it mean we have to lay down some rules to find these people? The 10,000 years of your life have been a waste if you can't even decide if the foul beast or egg came first. You're just unreasonably putting the cart before the burden beast to suit your fallacy. We already have rules called righteousness. You think they just appeared from thin air?
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, look. This one's about to wake up too. Awake? Or dreaming? Do you even have to ask? Just look at her, all lost. Obviously she's dreaming. Awake in a dream, yet not truly woken. The girl is suffering from a headache over the dilemma she faces. If you're stubborn and refuse to see sense, you'll surely run up against barriers, both physical and mental. You're right about that. Her knowing and doing don't match. She's contradicting herself. Wants non-action, yet also wants to act. Now she seeks a tangible form of justice, and even wants to pocket it and take it away. I think she's far more obsessed than that good-for-nothing disciple of mine. Yes, how could she enjoy such a delusional dream if she weren't the most obsessed person walking this realm? No need to be so harsh, Je. Plenty of people out there climb trees to catch fins or strike ice to make fire. What can we even do? But you're right about one thing. Is this girl an obsessed one, or what?
Who? What's the matter with you? Nothing. Did you not hear any of that? You're so weird. You've been staring at a blank space for a while now. Did those gusts give you a concussion? Don't suppose there's anything I can do about that. Thanks, I'm not quite, I just feel like, I've been here before.
Yeah, this first cutscene is already loaded. Like, this first cutscene is already loaded with so much interesting stuff that it's, I don't even know where to begin. Well, first off, something is happening inside of Yan. I think, when we switch at the beginning between, like, Hoshiguma and the old boatsmen, which are in different parts of Yan, they all see something happening, which is more than likely something happening over by Baizao. And I think that is our little hint as to this is gonna be the ending. We just got to kind of witness it, kind of sneak peek that whatever is gonna be happening above Baizao, it's gonna be visible throughout the entirety of Yan by everybody, and that is very spooky. That is very spooky indeed. And then we get to see, finally, how sorta, in quotes, the Emperor of Yan, Wei Yenwu's brother, younger brother by the way, looks like. Even though they do shroud his face, so we don't get to see his face clearly, but he finally got a model! He finally got a normal sprite model! And yeah, he pretty much looks like his brother, minus the parts that, judging by the hands that we already got to see in the previous story, in the story with you, well, 2 stories ago, technically. The Mirage story was the previous one. But yeah, in the You story, we got to see his hands already, and that was kind of like the indicator. The guy is definitely like more human, look-like and shape-like than Wei Yenwu is. Wei got the dragon genes. This guy got the tail and the horns. Maybe the pointy ears as well. But yeah, we finally get to see the guy, which is very nice. Honestly, very nice. It's been a while, and they've teased him for a long while, so I'm kind of happy that they've finally sort of showed him and how he looks like. And yeah, they're definitely brothers. You can tell by the color scheme and the tail. But yeah, we got to see him. And then we get a very interesting scene. Our 3 protagonists for IS6, Zuola, Yun, and Lazy. They all are exiting once more the garden and another tour that they did, and this one is seemingly definitely what what is or was ending 5, because Zuo has in his possession a tiny little item. This tiny little item is an item you actually pick up for ending 5, the newest ending, which, by the way, reminder again, I have not seen the ending. I do know the item. I have that thing unlocked because you need to get it before you get to the ending itself. But the item in question is called Little Moji, and the flavor text for it says, ink geist fed with the Sui proxy's memories. Its movements are not particularly swift, but it assists with suppressing Sui's awakening consciousness in the infinite possibilities. So yeah, that's the little item you get that you need to essentially get to ending 5. But very interesting. So yeah, this is definitely taking place after seemingly that ending, and I do love one thing that they do with that scene as well, which is kind of answer the question of how many times, or rather how much time has passed since the initial entry into the Garden of Groutesqueries. Because the three of them enter the garden at the end of the Mirage story, the last one, which was the introductory story for IS6. But all things considered, considering we only see, while we play through IS6, we only get to see the endings, and we do get the notion that they've been through it multiple times, we just don't get to understand how much or how big the time difference was, and how long they've been going in and out of the thing and doing the rounds and doing the whole ritual essentially in there. But we do get a time frame here, which is quite shorter than what I was expecting, but makes a lot of sense because the garden itself is really playing with your senses while you're in there. A little bonus, little thing that I want to bring up here that got brought, didn't get brought to my attention, but I kind of stumbled upon it somewhere, and I cannot remember where very recently. But the old Tianche, that little chick with the little birdie wings on her, in her hair and everything, the little horns. That character, very interestingly, I think IS6 actually revealed her true form in one of the encounters in there, in one of the events that you can stumble upon. And very specifically, again, not confirmed, but that creature definitely has elements that are part of her design, and it's this bird. Plus, if you actually pay attention to the text when you get the encounter, the bird does say things to you, and the things it says very much sound like the words from the old Tianches, so that might as well be her true form. I mean, in the Garden of Groutesqueries, in the consciousness that you can enter in there, the kind of like extra map, you also get events where you get to see like these Sui siblings in dragon forms, essentially, which is also very funny to see every single one of them. But I would say this bird is her. I would at least say. And by the way, I will also apologize in advance if we did discuss this in the past on one of the live streams. I don't remember, so I'm sorry. But very recently I encountered this, so I just wanted to bring it up because I found it very funny that that bird might be just her. Or how her ancestors looked like before they became human as well, who knows. But yeah, that is a little bonus here for you. And then we end on something very interesting. Chen, in a dream of sorts, talking to two Fadenmuts, essentially, or their human shapes. One is the old man, one is Huo, which is a Fadenmut we actually get to see in one of the endings. It is a big, giant, bigger than the mountains, burden beast, bull, one-horned bull, I don't know, water buffalo, I don't know what he's supposed to be specifically, but he is definitely a giant-ass burden beast, and taller than any mountain around him, as that one picture shows him. And also importantly, the playable character, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, Zhe is another proxy, and he seems to be the proxy of the other Fadenmut from that very same ending. Ending 4, by the way, as a little bonus thing here, you basically are fighting two Fadenmuts. You're basically experiencing the past and a past war against two Fadenmuts, and it's exactly these two, which is very funny. Which is very, very funny to consider. But yeah, very interesting. Regardless, and also we got to see a new character for a brief moment, as Chen Chen woke up there. A lot of stuff. Again, a lot of stuff just... And this is just the beginning cutscene. But anyway, let's continue on to stage number 1. TA1, titled Search Against Rocks. The river tells you to go around the great rock in the water, but you would not listen.
Huxi. Your name is Chen Huxi. Remember this family name. The rest has nothing to do with you.
Doll is my sister? I hate you. And I hate them. I should love you, but right now I hate every last one of you.
Huxi. Grow up soon. When you grow up, you'll change everything.
Three days before the day of the full moon.
Thunder.
And nothing more. It's late autumn. If you wait till winter, the roads will be hard to traverse. Huxi, you should go back.
Go back? To where? Lungmen?
I already told you what you want to know. So you should understand, all that lies in front of you is none of your business.
Huh. I think you've gotten old, Uncle. If you were 5 years younger, we would have crossed swords already.
Your temperament has changed too. You don't have many issues here over the past few days at this post house.
Because I still don't trust you. What you said about the Grand Preceptor, about your brother, that other uncle I've never met, and the old True Lung. It's not my place to comment, but if I have to say something, I'm just glad you're not the one ruining Yan.
I cannot argue with that.
I really do want to know what was going on in your head when you left Baizao, why Mother followed you to Lungmen, and why she stayed. But at this point, I'm not expecting to hear a fair answer, or an objective account of the past from you. So I'll find the answers myself, and I'm not leaving until I do. You have a knack for messing things up when it matters most, especially when it's about you. To stop you from doing anything stupid again, or even just to keep you safe, I'm not leaving until I'm done. So let's both save our breath.
Huxi, these past few years you...
Same as always. Nothing worth sharing.
Perhaps it's better to wait until you're willing. Shen Huxi looks out the window. The lights of the far-off nomadic city have been dimmed for days, leaving Baizao's skyline vague at night, like the spine of a Farenmut in hiding. She tries to imagine the colossal creatures from ancient fables only recently confirmed as real to her. Fine autumn rain drizzles against the window, like pins and needles on glass.
Still no news.
Then that's the best news we could ask for. There is no hoping for a positive turn of events at this point.
So, if anything strange happens in Baizao, human won't hesitate to go to war. This bestial Sui you talk of, the unrest it might cause, and any battle it might provoke, no one's sure how any of it could turn out.
Correct.
So this is the secret Great Yan has hidden for over 1,000 years. You two are so alike.
There is a strange detail though. Time is running out, but in the past 10 days, There have been no more than 3 messenger parties traveling between Human and Baizao. When Human is facing war, we would expect far more traffic.
Lord Wei, a visitor.
At a time like this, send them in. I trust you've been well, Lord Wei. Likewise, Grand Tutor.
So you're the Grand Tutor of Yan?
I did not know Lady Chen would be here as well.
How do you...
Chen is certain she has never met this old man before. She cannot tell if it is an austere or kind look in his eyes, but he recognizes her instantly. Swiftly, he turns that same gaze to Wei Yenwu. That's another matter, and a long story. I see. So you did heed my advice to stay at this post house. I have no grounds to distrust the Grand Tutor. It has been messengers, but today the Grand Tutor graces us with a personal visit. There is something I must make clear to you, Lord Wei. You, leave us. No need. Best she stay and hear what I am about to say.
Fine.
This situation in Baizao. After mid-autumn, His Imperial Majesty granted him leave to enter the tomb of Sui to try and quell the threat posed by the Bestial One. But the day of the full moon nears, and we've heard nothing from the tomb. And yet, at this very moment, 5 Faramutes have lurked around Great Yan with intentions unknown. The Tianche of the Chamber of Heaven's Designs, along with Yan's finest warriors, have stationed themselves near the Faramutes. Great Yan does not fear the coming battle. But the worst outcome we face is not just fighting 5 Faramutes simultaneously.
No way.
Intentions unknown. This greybeard sure can talk. With the blood feud of the past few millennia, did you think they'd simply show up on your doorstep bearing gifts?
Huh? What did you say?
I'm sure many are advocating for war at this time. There is no opinion from any party left to consider. I fear Great Yan is left with no other choice. The court must have drafted plenty of plans for this contingency. Countless plans, and none end with a Pyrrhic victory. But there is still a method yet to be considered. Tell me, Grand Tutor. Tell me my brother has never conceived of activating Bufan himself. He is the true Lung of Yan. If the nation is driven to a corner, he is the only one who can do it. It's absurd. Lord Wei. As it stands, there is no longer a need to digress. Not a single man knew of the secret letter sent to Lungmen until the Imperial Guards set off, and I came today without any attempt to conceal my identity. I'm sure you understand, Lord Wei. The past. Stories from 40 years ago, thousands of years ago. It should not end like this. And he should never be the one to pay the price. No one wants to see the worst case scenario, but we cannot deceive ourselves. I must remind you, even if merely for Yan's sake, or for the good of the realm, a backup plan is called for.
Please, just slow down a second. I don't get it. What does the Grand Tutor mean by a backup plan? Everything you're saying, what does any of it have to do with Wei Yenwu?
You still don't get it? You don't know what a backup plan is? Something you do when things go south.
What? What are you talking about?
A kingdom cannot be without its king for even a day. A missing true lung must naturally see his seat filled by another. When father dies, son takes over, and when elder brother leaves, younger returns. That's how it's been for thousands of years. And if there is no other choice, this lass will have no choice but to become the true Lung.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yushi.
That voice. Did the two of you not hear any of that?
Lord Wei, I do not expect you have considered all possible angles already. One must think before one acts, but time is short. Take care, Lord Wei. I'll see you out. No need.
I didn't get any of what he was saying. He had me stay to hear it, but I couldn't make sense of it at all.
Yushi.
All that stuff about Yan probably going to war, but he'll give you time to prepare? Bufan, the Faramoots. What does any of it have to do with you?
Yushi. Many mistakes from the past. Some I made myself, but others I was powerless to stop. I only insist on ensuring those irrevocable mistakes do not affect the rest of you, because I never doubted in your potential to accomplish more than we ever could.
This is the first time you could be saying that.
One more thing. Tallulah. Tell me, was she well the last time you met?
No way. I'm not telling you about her right now. If you really care, then now is not the time. Onfo Mizuki doesn't want you to stay a stubborn old man forever, and she's worried about your safety. And I don't want to... If you truly care for anyone but yourself, then don't leave them behind. Tell me, Uncle, what exactly are you going to do?
It sounds like she's doing fine. Well, not bad at least.
That's not your call to make. You don't know how much she's sacrificed, and you've no clue what she's... Enough. If you want to enjoy your pity party here, then have fun. I'm going out for some fresh air.
Fine autumn rain continues unabated, like intermittent thoughts left tangled with no end.
I'm sick of you, Wei Yenwu. You and your precious city.
Where are you headed? Back up north. There are people in the mines who need our help. We are running out of time. Right now? Then what about this farm? What about the people left here? Some of our comrades are staying. They'll take care of each other. You could join them too, if you're so inclined. I can't just let you go. You could follow us instead. I'd like your help, if it's on the table. But, Yushi, I believe in your words and your ideals. A place where the infected are judged fairly and can live
truly alive. But that place is not here. Not in the past, not in the present. The place we seek lies only in the future, and we must make our way there.
Alright, so on we go. And what next? Did my past catch up with me? Or did I go looking for it? Guess it's less history and more a reality I haven't faced yet. Tallulah, if you were here, what would you think about all these?
Overcautious and indecisive. Your courage is for naught.
This lass is unlike her ancestors.
That first Lung's descendants must number at least tens of thousands over the millennia. How many of them were heroes? And how many were mediocrites? How much can this sliver of that bloodline even accomplish? With a mind this turbid, as if trapped in a dream, can we really trust her with anything? Or is it because those old blockheads refuse to bend? No wonder the youths are too inept to handle things on their own.
She's been on quite the journey, so she must have other special skills beyond her brute swordplay.
Just who the hell are you? Enough hiding! Come out here and show yourselves!
The vague, mysterious voice speaks again, but she hears it clearly this time. Only now is Chen Hirshi sure the whispers that have plagued her all night are no mere hallucination.
Just look at the girl. Inexperienced, yet quick to anger. I'm glad you want to know, but if you truly seek your answer, why not find it yourself?
What the... What was that? From the post house?
Lady Chen.
What are you all standing around for? Did something happen?
When was the last time you saw Lord Wei?
Barely an hour ago.
So you don't know his whereabouts either.
Wait, you mean...
Half an hour ago, Lord Wei went to rest and dismissed us. The post house owner just realized your room was empty when delivering the food. We've searched the premises and found no trace. Lord Wei is, missing.
No note left in the room. An empty room, as if it never housed a guest.
So he actually managed to slip out with all of you watching. Again, yet again, Wei Yenwu.
Lord Wei received a letter, personally penned by the True Lung, summoning him to the capital. We tried in vain to dissuade him. We could only follow. Let us tentatively assume he is making his way there. We failed to ensure his safety, and our crime is unforgivable. However, I fear entering the capital now would only...
Don't worry.
Chen interrupts the Shadow Guard.
Whatever the case, he left without a word. So this time, I'll find him.
Intermission. Cutscene for Ending 2 in IS6 Garden of Groutesqueries. In this ending, Zuola's team fights a physical manifestation of Sui Itself. And once they win... Zuola has never in his life imagined he would manage to challenge a Fahrenmut. But now, It seems to be his reality. The bestial Sui leaves the summit where they were, rolling and twisting in the sky. He remembers how ancient texts he read spoke of how when gods die, heaven and earth distort, flooding the realm with calamity as the land mourns. But now the Farenmut is turning into a scroll? His eyes open wide. The bestial Sui's fins turn into scraps of paper as they fall, exposing flesh and blood, like a thick tome opened. Pages helplessly cling onto the beast until the words written upon are flung into the air, vanishing into the wind. A fatal wound now devoid of cover stands starkly for all to see. That is its heart. It turns out the bestial Sui has a beating heart, just like we do. The heart glows like the sun, emanating warmth. It beats slowly, calmly, compared to the bestial body struggling about. Like a woman deep in slumber, silently waiting for her end. Wait. Zuola rubs his eyes and looks carefully at the heart. He is sure of what he sees. A young lady curled up within, horns above and tail below, her hands patterned in brown. Her mouth is moving. What is she saying? What does she want to tell us? Characters, words that were forgotten? The truth from a century ago? Or the original end of this bestial Sui? No, that's not it. This is not Sui. Those eyes, horns and tail. This is... Are you alright, Lord Zuo? Huh? We're out? The rite has concluded nicely this year, without any issues. Please take this token rule before you return for your report. Many thanks. If I may ask, what did we just see inside the memorial hall? What did you see? I think I saw... strange. I can't put it into words. Zuola is stuck in a daze. The scene from earlier seemed like a dream, fleeting fragments impossible to piece together into a complete memory. Should I escort you down the mountain? No need. Please excuse us. Zuola turns around to look at the memorial hall with its open doors. He looks past the Sui proxy fiddling with a jade rule from his sleeve. He seems to spot the ink stick received from the visitors, now placed on the altar. Above the altar appears to be an indistinct portrait. Who knew they'd actually find her? After the guests are far gone, E lets out an almost inaudible sigh, tapping a jade rule on his palm. They were the first in a century to walk past those doors. A remarkable and rare event. The ink stick has been found, but if we don't find a way to write it down, all will have been for naught. Liang, shut the doors. The ceremony is not done yet. It continues. Intermission end. 2 days before the day of the full moon, hour of yin.
Reporting in. From the hour of Yu yesterday to the hour of Yin today, we have moved more than 80% of the residents from the area around the main street to Pneumatic Plate C. Some residents remain due to official duties, property concerns, or other reasons. Urge them to settle their affairs at once and leave material goods behind. Time is almost up. Understood. Also strengthen security inspections at checkpoints. Report any suspicious individuals or situations to your captain immediately. Yes, sir.
So Baizao already evacuated the population. I wonder if the Sui regulator has any news from the tomb of Sui. That's a lot of sentries. Best not draw attention to myself. Time for a detour. That's... Zula goes around the checkpoint. But as he turns a corner, he spots someone who should not be there.
Zula!
Are you... Apologies, but may I ask... Who are you, sir?
The Sui regulator is aware of your deeds at Mangshan Town and in the Garden of Groutesqueries. I was dispatched to meet you here. You've done well. You must be exhausted. Go to rest.
Thank you for your concern. But I have to deliver a token to the Sui regulator and share the details of the placation with the supervisor at once, so I dare not retire for now.
Just a proof of the placation. Fret not. Just hand it here and I'll take care of it. As for the report, you may submit it at a later time.
But, Zula subconsciously rubs the token in his pocket with his knuckles. This is a special case, so I must submit the token and my report to the supervisor myself.
Still doubting me? When I have the approval penned personally by the supervisor for my actions right here? Zula, I know you are very conscientious, but the situation is complicated. You need not be stubborn.
I'm sorry, sir, but this is all too sudden, and I don't know where this change is coming from. I do not doubt the supervisor's orders, but could we at least head over to the Sui regulator together so I can get a complete grasp of the situation? Sir, what is the meaning of this?
Is someone obstructing official duties here?
Stay your hand. For now.
I've never seen the Sui regulator cooperate with the patrol battalion before.
As I said, things are complicated. This is how affairs are handled in wartime. Zula, tarry any longer and we may hinder our battle plans. I'm acting on orders. If you have any further questions, save them for the supervisor herself later.
Acting on orders. Dare I ask whose orders these are?
That is classified military information that may not be leaked, Lord Zuo. I'm sure you understand, seeing as you grew up in the barracks.
300 candle holders in the Sui regulator, and none know each other's past. So, how do you know my background? Just who are you?
Seize him.
Go.
What?
A black sphere suddenly rolls down to the center of their stalemate, spewing out thick black smoke that spreads quickly through the air.
An ambush! Assume defensive positions!
Just run already! What? Ah! Zula jumps up onto the eaves with exclamation.
After him!
Footsteps rumble behind the young man as several soldiers rush in his direction.
Form a line. There's still time, no need to rush.
Think carefully. Did you leave it at your desk?
Yeah, probably. What's the matter?
Sir, we finished an experiment outside the city and only just heard about the evacuation order. But we left something important in the school laboratory. We'll be back once we've fetched it. I promise. Can we go?
Time isn't on our side. What could be so important?
It's really important data. We spent years just to collect it. If we can iron out the issue, then maybe... just maybe...
Show me your student card, and then go over there for a security inspection.
Thank you, sir.
Right, once you get the data, evacuate with the Academy's staff. Make sure you leave within 24 hours.
Of course.
Hold it there, girl.
Me?
Young lady, Baizao is under a mass evacuation. There is no entrance to the city without special permission. May I ask what brings you here?
Jen tries to blend in with those entering the city, but a keen-eyed guard spots her immediately and approaches. She makes sure Xiao stays unseen behind her.
I'm, looking for my uncle. He's old, has trouble walking, and brought a lot of luggage on this trip, so my aunt asked me to escort him out.
But when the Ministry of Revenue issued the evacuation order 2 days ago, they brought out every elderly resident.
My uncle isn't a local. He's a tourist from Lungmen, who came here for mid-autumn. He's, kind of a loner, and rarely talks to people. He spent the last 2 days waiting for me to come pick him up at the inn.
Your papers, please.
Sure.
Lungmenite, Shen Shi, former senior superintendent of the LGD. And you're an infected?
I retired from the force because of it, but that was so long ago.
Thank you for your service. You may go. If you don't manage to find your uncle, seek the nearest guard for help. But make sure you leave the city within 24 hours.
Thanks for the heads up. Right, could I just ask, have you seen a tall lung with red hair and horns pass through here since yesterday?
No. But the description is somewhat familiar.
Don't worry about it. Just a passing thought. Dosha, I'll be going now.
Wait, miss! Where are you headed? A master signal? What's happening over there?
What?
Retreat! Everyone run! Take cover! Attention all units! Ensure civilians inside the sentry posts are safe! Over there! What's that black mass?
In the dark of night, as thick clouds shroud the moonlight's glow, an army descends upon the streets. No commands, no war drums, no rattling of weapons against armor. Even their approach makes no sound. A disciplined, formidable, but still indistinct battalion closes in on the checkpoint with a deathly silence.
Hey, did you hear about the ghosts in Baizao before the city moved on to a nomadic plate? A ghost army? You believe in folktales too? Probably a mirage caused by the strange weather lately. It's way too realistic to be a mirage. No, look at their armor. It's totally different from ours. That's no mirage.
The army closes in, and the guard finally gets a clear look at the moving mass. Silent soldiers bear blurry yet terrifying faces with old, blood-stained armor like evil spirits from thousands of years ago. A soldier's spear point nears the guard's neck before he can even react. Fall back! A shadow? The Imperial Guard apprentice slashes forward, but merely changes the spear's trajectory, while the immense strength hidden in the soldier's attack startles her. The spear point sweeps above her head, but the weapon unnaturally whips backwards, heading for her vitals. There's nothing inside. The soldier is destroyed by her slash. Strangely, the other soldiers do not treat her as a foe, and simply advance along the empty road silently, with no discernible destination. Captain! Send word to the other barracks. These soldiers are anomalous enemies. Exercise extreme caution against them. They don't seem to be actively hostile, so don't initiate conflict. Evacuate anyone along the way and be on guard for developments. Captain, where did they come from? What even are they? Geists. Dispatch some men to update the Sui regulator at once. They're merely marching forward for now, but we cannot allow them to endanger civilians or trespass into restricted areas. At once! I fear this unrest indicates whatever's happening inside the tomb of Sui must be quelled immediately. Could His Majesty's decree actually be... Are they already fighting? A crimson sword flash? My goodness, where did this army come from? They're headed our way! Help! Script Geists. Still the same outlook. Whose ancient dwelling dream is this? Is it because it woke up? Or because you've returned home? Look out! Are you alright, madam? Thank you. How can I ever repay you? What? No, there's no need for that. I don't know where these creatures crawled out of, but they're dangerous. Just be careful. Chen notices the woman calmly ignoring the surrounding commotion. She even turns to look at Chen herself. Noticing the woman's scrutinizing gaze, Chen immediately sheathes Shi Xiao. In vain. A descendant of the House of Yan. You must have misunderstood. I am... What say you? What's the difference between forcing one person's will upon the masses and enlightening the masses with the insight of one mind? Where's this question coming from? You do not have an answer now? This isn't the best time to discuss it. What a shame. Perhaps we can continue our conversation another time. Perhaps. The woman does not wait for Chen to respond before melting back into the crowd. Strange lady. Actually, are these monsters that popped up out of nowhere related to the bestial Sui? They seem to be coming from the same direction. Patrol battalion flashes across his view as Zhou Le hides behind a wall. What's going on inside the city? Whose orders are they following? And why are they so fixated on this token from the garden? That approval letter was indeed written by the supervisor's own hand. But why would she be working with them? More troops? No, that's... Countless paintings flash through his mind until it stops on a scroll depicting the Great Hunt in the Sui Regulator's hidden collection. I recall a similar scroll in Father's study. Could they be Geists? As he stays deep in thought, the leading Geist suddenly rushes towards him. Look out! The black Geist disperses, leaving splotches of black ink on the nearby walls.
This ink stain. A script Geist? But how? Don't tell me. That vanished proxy. My lord, are you...
Pester me any longer, and I shan't show you mercy.
There's a misunderstanding, sir. I saw you getting attacked by that monster, so I ran here to help.
You're not apprehending me.
Huh? My lord must be joking. I only just received orders to assist the candle holders in cleansing the monsters.
Have you seen any other candle holders?
No.
The city is in turmoil, but the Sui regulator hasn't sent anyone. And the patrol battalion, obviously 2 different directives have been issued. I must get to the bottom of this once I meet with the supervisor.
My apologies. This was my mistake. Please excuse me. It's dangerous here. Keep safe.
His sword flashes in a spin as Ula dispatches several nearby geists, and he instantly vanishes into an alley.
So fast?
Why the rush? More and more script geists this way. Where exactly did they come from? Come out! Alright. Here I am. Don't get mad now. It's you!
You, girl, you're coming with me.
Me?
You don't get along with the candle holder boy, and you'll just keep fighting in there. Whatever you're looking for, he can find it for you.
And what is your intention, having followed me the whole way? Why the attitude? Shouldn't you be happy, reuniting with an acquaintance? You... I believe the old Tianche has her reasons for letting you go. But I can't trust you. A Shanghai Yong. Fine. Oh, righteous and benevolent Lord Zuo of the Sui Regulator. I know you look down upon us lot. But you're being hunted down by your own people. Surely we can cooperate a little. I believe there's been a misunderstanding. I'll go to see the supervisor, and from there I will naturally... hold on. How do you know the Sui Regulator is after me? You numbskull. They would be walking you back right now if I hadn't stepped in when they were surrounding you back there.
Wait, that was you?
Duh. Who else would dare get in the Sui Regulator's way? I saved your life. So could you be just a bit nicer? Maybe? There are geists in the vicinity, miss. So you should be careful. Damn it. These blasted things are crawling everywhere. Situation's even worse than I thought. Enough nonsense. Where's the thing you got from the garden?
What, you wanted to?
I'm not telling you. Hey!
She turns around, pointing towards the growing mass of script geists accumulating from all directions.
Ignore me, and you'd better have a way to deal with all of that.
Huh?
You know how to use that token?
I... do not.
Then just zip it and hand it over!
After a momentary reluctance, Zula finally takes out the doll he took so much care to keep on himself.
This color, it really is her. Where did you get it?
In a study, or was it in a memorial hall? I can't recall. I don't know why, but our memories of the garden are a mess.
I have a question though. Is this object, as you say, able to stop Yan and the bestial Sui from going to war? I'll tell you later. For now, we're going to use it to take care of these ugly things.
Mo Yi unceremoniously snatches the token from him.
Hey! All to break the stalemate. The only way out.
The girl leaps forward, putting distance between her and Zula.
The forbidden arts from the day.
Wait, you can't do that inside the city! With ink flowing as years roll on, annals are wrought. Through spring and autumn's turns, the tale of countless lives is told. In the name of the Shenkai Zhong, I beseech thee, 5th of the 12th, bearing the name Jie, manifest!
She holds the token with a stern expression and recites her chant, but it seems as if nothing is happening.
Huh. So that's not how you use it. My guess was off.
What?
Oh well, works for me. Let me borrow this for a bit. I'll give it back once I'm done studying it.
Wait! You're not going anywhere!
Two days before the day of the full moon, hour of Chen.
The geists vanished with the sunrise. They were all coming from here, so this must be the source. The Sky Mirror Pavilion. This is the place? Who is it? Stop right there!
Okay, I will not lie. Mo Yi and that chant, reading it for the first time, almost made me shit a brick. I think I almost compressed a diamond with my butt cheeks when she when she dropped those lines. Anyway, before I say anything anymore, because there was a lot more there, we have new enemies on this stage, so let's get them out of the way. Well, we have beneficial stuff and enemies, but all in order. First off, the beneficial one. Matters of money. Script guys born of the beautiful wishes of the people, whose original name was money. In the great hunt 1,000 years ago, the wealthy gave their wealth, and the poor their strength, joining forces to defeat the might of heaven. Historians recorded this for posterity and archived it in the Sky Pavilion, Mirror Pavilion. Then we have the Wild Arbs, script guys born of the influence of a Sui proxy, whose original name was Soldier. The histories write, upon the peaks was the beast cornered and killed. It was the battlefield where the Feranut was hunted, and where countless soldiers were buried. The smoke dissipates and the broken armor sinks into the sand, as the bleached bones hope to return in spring. And the last one is a Draw Bow, script guys born of the influence of a Sui proxy, whose original name was Bow. The histories write, where does the bowstring return? Across thousands of miles to the pass? Every goodbye on that bridge was solemn and earnest. The wind stirs the sand, the longbow a full moon. Listen to the string ring, and hope for its bearer's return. But yeah, that was definitely a lot of scenes. So in order, first off, the Chen stuff is very interesting. She seems to be dipping in and out of like a dreamscape where she is capable of not only partially hearing, but actually seeing the two Faramuts and their human shapes, essentially, which is very interesting. I wonder where that is gonna lead to. Plus, she arrived at a very interestingly looking building, which we can actually see right here next to TA3 is the very building. But we're probably gonna see more in the future about that. Plus, we got to actually see the proper shape or face of the character that is there. Whoever that is, we'll also have to wait on that. But yeah, interesting stuff. Plus, to elaborate on one thing very, very quickly, the flashback scene that we see where Chen is talking with Tallulah in some kind of village, and Tallulah in her barn maiden attire, however you want to call that. But this is a scene that is definitely taking place after the events of what happens in chapter 16. So, because you've seen this, I will not go into details for people who have not gone through chapter 16 of the main story. But because this was shown just to give everybody a bit more context, because of the events of chapter 16, a group of miners essentially people who work in mines, don't mistake the word, but a group of miners reach a village that Tallulah and the current reunion are essentially building up for infected. And they reach her there and ask for help, for Reunion's help, and Reunion obviously answers the call, or at least, as Tallulah indicates there, she is essentially organizing or being organized with a core group of members that are going to be going into, seemingly into Ursus, to help out the miners and whatever is happening there. So that's as much as I'm gonna say. For the rest, you're gonna have to do chapter 16. You're gonna have to catch up with the main story. But very interesting that we see that the two of them did actually meet after that story there, or rather before Tallulah set off. And as a bonus little thing as well to add there is that story, chapter 16, is taking place in the year 1101. So basically about a full year before the stuff here. just for the context, right? But very interesting. But more importantly, new sibling has entered the arena. Purple Lady. I don't know which number she is right now. I'm trying to think. I know that there are three technically that we haven't seen yet. But one of them is dead. So, you know, DA is dead. But, yeah, purple one. I think she is the fourth one, but I don't know if they said her name before. The name is escaping me right now, so I honestly don't remember. I'm gonna leave it to the story to reintroduce the character if they did mention her name. The one that I do sort of remember, I think that's at least the one that I remember, is I think he's the 10th one. He's the healer guy. And if I remember correctly, his name is Fang. So, yeah, that one I do remember. So I guess she's number 4 then. Right after Ling and right before Jie. Interesting. I honestly do not remember if they mentioned her name. So, yeah, I'm gonna just leave it to the story to give that introduction. And yeah, shit is happening in Baizao, as we see. Script guys are appearing. They all seemingly look like they are old soldiers, essentially, which we are fighting as well on the stages. And they're made from ink. Now, I want to make this distinction here very clear so people are also not confused. The ink and the way they are made seems to be from writing ink, not from painting ink or painting just, color in general. Painting utensils. They're not dusk. They're not dusk related. That one sentence, who was it? Lee? I think it's Zuo who drops the sentence when he says something along the lines of maybe it's the sibling that is missing or something. He's referring to Jie, because that's the sibling no one remembers, but it was brought to certain people's attention that obviously people in the know that one sibling has died, just no one remembers her. That is the gist of it. And these seem to be appearing because of that, seemingly at least. But yeah, very interesting. And that item is definitely gonna play some crazy role in the whole thing, considering that Moi has taken a very big interest in the whole thing. Plus, I will add this here. Number one, Zuo jumping around and being a very perceptive little guy. Much appreciated. I like that. I like the little guy's growth. He has definitely evolved as a character over these several stories. And I do like his, I do really like his interactions with Moi. They're very funny. They're in a way very, very funny. The two of them are like water and oil. They repel each other. But it's very funny to see them interact, I will not lie. But yeah, let's continue with our story. So first off, we have a training stage, which obviously does not have a cutscene, but it says TATR1, Lacquer Black Imprint. The print is profoundly black like lacquer. Its thickness is the weight and depth of history, solemn and dignified. Stage number 2, The Great Ghost. Sui is a ghost. The moons are phantoms. Is the passage of time not a ghost as well?
Here you are. The same game of weiqi. One that you have lost countless times over the centuries. You are trying to fight a whole with its parts. All well-laid plans, no more than child's play in my eyes. Drowning yourself in children's toys. A bad old habit of yours. This challenge is simply a repetition of the thousands of defeats of the past.
Huh. You try to mask your fear with arrogance. Why bother? Anger, fear, hope. I see clearly in you the things you try to see in me. Join the game, if you're not afraid. This time, you will lose. I am defeated. Year 593. I did not expect this variation of the offset play. You had a chance if you did not continue to seed ground in the center around the 100 move, hoping for a draw. I did not have a clear view of the developments to come, so I picked the safe move. I see I was mistaken. I thought my weiqi skills had improved, but it looks like I'm still far beneath you. In this last battle, we were only able to avoid heavy casualties thanks to your strategies of conserving our strength and luring the enemy deep in. This return to the capital is an opportunity for you to rest, but I expect it will be a long time until our next meeting. You don't seem concerned with victory or defeat. Why obsess over such things in a meeting between brothers? Not just weiqi. It seems that nothing ever concerns you. You are always content to act the part of the kind benefactor. I don't know why you'd say that. The new Right Assistant Minister of the Ministry of War, together with officials from the Ministry of Rights, accused you in a petition to the throne 2 months ago. Commanding troops to act without authorization. A serious crime. How do you know the Imperial Court's business when you've been with me on the front lines for the past 6 months? I have my ways. You should worry about yourself. If you meant our late return to camp, it was because we had to stop and wait for a catastrophe to pass. General Young knew. The Ministry of War hardly has a case. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. The Assistant Minister was found to have accepted bribes and embezzled supplies. He is in prison now, awaiting trial. He won't spread rumors any longer for now. As for whether he makes it out of prison alive, only heaven knows. You promised to stop meddling in the affairs of the court. I would hardly call it meddling. Simply helping Yan rid itself of a corrupt official. You know your own intentions. You see the entire court as a game of weiqi with human lives for stones? Has your lust for honesty and righteousness blinded you to the evil and malice lurking in the hearts of people? No sooner had that man taken office than he started to target you. Do you really think there is no one behind the curtain? Do you really believe we have only one enemy? Go easy on this one, and we set ourselves up for more trouble to come. Strange things have been happening since the birth of our youngest brother. Fang's patient committed suicide after getting better. Someone has been producing satirical works of falsehood in Dusk's name, imitating her touch. Thieves have stolen treasures from E's garden. A long and thorough investigation by the Judicial Review Office turned up nothing more than a gang of fools. And then, your matter. We all know it is not dead. The people here have never forgotten its terror. That is why they watch our every move, every meeting. Do you still think your little achievements will force them to see us as anything more than alien entities, enemies to be feared? Are Fang and Dusk alright? Fang was depressed for a while. Dusk has always been how she is, but I don't suppose either would worry too much about it. But what about the future? You think someone is pulling these strings behind the scenes? The Shanghai Zhong, or someone else with ulterior motives? That's what I truly fear. If a single mastermind is behind all of this, I cannot determine who it might be, nor do I have any inkling of their intentions. I will confirm all that you've said with the Sui regulator. I know you have good intentions. But don't overstep the boundaries like this again. Since when have we been worried for one another? I simply didn't want to fall into a trap without knowing who dug it. It's time to go. The journey is far. Be careful on your way. Bring the others my greetings. I may not see them. The proxy bids his sibling farewell and proceeds in the direction of the capital. The journey is far, and he is in a hurry. He does not have time to stop for small noises along the way. Intermission. Cutscene for Ending 3 in IS6 Garden of Groutesqueries. In this ending, the party faces off against Wang, and this is the aftermath. As the visitors ascend into the sky and enter the tomb of Sui, they seem to have forgotten something while rejoicing in their unprecedented achievement. One can enter the depths of the Garden of Groutesqueries by substituting heaven and earth with material objects to scale the mountain and conduct deplacation. But the visitors cannot answer why the mausoleum is opened with a giant weiqi board and painted blocks of type. Perhaps it is this recklessness and ignorance that angers the Sui proxy. And so, through every carefully calculated sword strike and thunderclap by the visitors, the proxy known for strategy nonetheless shakes up this false realm. Weiqi stones fall from the sky as type blocks rise from the ground, as if to sandwich all beings in between to fine dust. The moment heaven and earth coalesce, a cyan scroll whisks the visitors away. The young gently places the frightened and confused crowd in the open space before the memorial hall. After calming them and handing over the seal, Liang gestures to Yi, then escorts the group down the mountain, answering their incessant questions as they go. He waits for the all too curious visitors to vanish from his sight before he looks towards the memorial hall. The guests have just left, but a rare guest has arrived. Inside, another Sui proxy stands alone. Is that him in the flesh, or one of his clones? It doesn't even matter anymore. Wang needs a little time to process this reunion after 120 years. Her name has faded from her portrait, but her expression remains serene as ever. Be the presence in his memories, or the presence felt inside the tomb of Sui, they impart the same hope. Educate and expound her life's work to last for a millennium. She has always been brimming with expectations for this great land. This is Wang's first visit to the memorial hall. In the past 120 years, he has been repeatedly chewing on his guilt, regret, and rancor. He hates everything that buried her here, himself included. He never dared to enter this place. Until today, when that group of hot-headed visitors spread out the weiqi pieces and the characters before him. You believed they could bring her back, so why drive them away? I should have left them there to rot for their reckless behavior. But... Wang does not speak, and there is no need for him to. This is the first time in all these years someone has brought back that ink stick from their boundless history. All he needs is to find that trace of ink within the Faramut's memories. With ink, words can form, and they can restore her. Can he hope for that? Should he believe in it? He extends his hand in an asking gesture. He smiles with optimism under his elder brother's stern gaze. Wang falls silent again for a long time. The past drifts in like clouds, and he finally decides. The weiqi board and character blocks merge into a wordless scroll in his hands, and he turns around sharply. The empty scroll floats onto Wang's back like a pair of open arms. Within the painting remains a gentle smile. Wang hands the scroll over to Yi. I'll leave it to you. I'll do all I can. Paper carries ink. Ink turns into words. After years apart, perhaps they can meet again. Yet again, the ceremony continues. Intermission end.
One wrong move, and all is lost. Let's begin with the name Yu, shall we? Sure, let me think.
Yu Yin Rao Liang. The sound lingers upon the beams. Liang. What idiom begins with Liang? Don't tell me you're giving up already. Of course not. Just busy with the beast meat. Give me some time. Sure. I have many books to copy. Take your time. Liang. I feel like I should ask Yi, but he's not here. Heng Liang, crossbeam. Feng Liang, roof beam. Dong Liang, pillar. I know. Dong Liang, Di Tai. Pillar of society. Oh, wait. It has to start with Liang.
Say, she has so many bamboo slips with words on them sitting next to her. Maybe if I took a peek.
What is it? Nothing. Why are you copying the words from the slips onto these, squares? It's called paper. A new invention. It's lighter and easier to write on than bamboo. It also doesn't deteriorate easily, which makes it easy to preserve. You can preserve something forever if you write it on paper? Yes and no. Bamboo slips may last for decades, paper for centuries. Be it bamboo or paper, however, there ultimately comes a day when it perishes. No matter what we use to record something, it will only endure forever if people truly commit it to memory. Just like how people remember your cooking when they taste it.
He listens, but it is unclear if he understands. He scratches his head beside the stock beast that he has just butchered, but he cannot come up with an idiom that starts with Liang. Suddenly, a small piece of bamboo falls in front of him, and he sees the words on it.
Liang Sheng Junzi, man on the roof beam. Not bad. Zi, huh? Let me think. Zishu. Let's stop here. This word chain game is so hard. Why don't you play it with Ling and Dusk the next time they're here? And I'll watch from the sidelines. Are you hungry? Do you want me to cook the meat? Sure. Can I have the bamboo slips, if you don't need them anymore? For the fire, I suppose.
The young proxy takes the bamboo slips from his sister and skillfully cuts them down in the middle into long, sharp sticks.
What are you making? Meat skewers. The stock piece tenderloin is just the right mix of lean and fat, and the fat on its belly is nice and firm. It'll taste great roasted. The fuel has to be charcoal. These bamboo slips don't burn for long. I already have the charcoal. We can start roasting when I'm done cutting these slips and skewering the meat. Does grilling the meat on bamboo slips make this a scholar's meal? Let's call it Scholar's Barbecue. Well, I trust your cooking. I'm excited to try it. Well, I'm done with the slips. You can take them.
You're both here.
Oh, back already? Huh? Wang? I got your letter. I thought you wouldn't be here for a few more days at least. Smooth trip.
Yes. You two, there's the idiom, burning a guchin to cook a foul beast, which means sacrilegious, wasteful behavior. What are you doing with these bamboo slips?
I'm not, Gia gave them to me.
The boy hides behind his sister, peeking his head out from her side.
Just giving some broken bamboo slips to you to make the most of them. Why so harsh? You should be more grateful to you for making dinner.
It's not like I actually said anything.
Don't fight. I'll go make dinner. It's not every day my second oldest brother comes back. We finally got to eat together. You just, sit down and chat. He's always been a little afraid of you. Can't you be more gentle? Are things not going well?
No.
I see. But we don't get together very often, and you misses you. Anything you want to say can wait until after dinner. So, unsettling things have been happening without my knowledge.
You don't look worried at all.
I'm worried, and I'm just surprised that you show so much concern for your siblings, brother.
Siblings in a sense that we were born from the same fragmented consciousness, not true blood relations. We each have our own interests and ambitions. Our fates are none of each other's concern. We walk different paths.
Do you truly think so? My views are different. See, it's been centuries since we came to the mortal world. Even if we are not truly part of it, most of the scenes and people that we see are lovely. But the people we meet seem to become smoke in the wind in the blink of an eye. In the end, it is only us who remain, and it's only in each other that we can truly speak our hearts. We may have differences and we may have conflicts, but we could never cut each other off completely. Isn't that very much like human siblings?
I have no intention of arguing, if this is how you think.
I don't know why you always seem so aloof. We don't see each other very often. Are you not happy at all? I wonder if you'd regret it, if one of us suddenly disappeared forever. Speaking of which, I encountered something strange recently. One night, I was about to go to bed when I heard a sound from the study. From the garden, I saw through the window the silhouette of someone bending over the desk, writing something. I hurried into the study to find no one, only the Jiang that I had been transcribing the past few days lying on the desk, with scribblings all over it.
Jie takes a scroll from the desk. One word is written over every neatly written character on the page. Sui.
Who do you think could have done it?
There is only one possibility. It is awakening, and it is attempting to interfere with us in some way. We thought its consciousness had completely faded after Yu's birth. But it is alive, still sleeping, but the stuff of our nightmares. If it does wake, we will become its fleeting dream.
What do you have in mind?
I don't know yet, but I'll think of a way.
I have an idea, if you'd care to listen. I only recently thought about it. When I compiled the histories with the people of Yan, there were inevitably some mistakes, no matter how careful we were. Unlike ordinary writing, it takes great effort to correct mistakes written in the histories.
Jie picks up a writing knife from the desk, used to scrape bamboo slips, then picks up a scroll and gently scrapes the paper. The ink that has seeped into the paper, even smearing the next page slightly, disappears without a trace when the writing knife touches it. The paper is blank, as though nothing has ever been written on it. This knife...
I think my influence has changed it. I have a faint feeling that the words it scrapes away, a history, or at least a name, don't just disappear from the paper. They disappear from people's hearts and minds. Perhaps there will come a day when we use it to scrape the word Sui from all the texts of this world.
You can do that?
Not yet. Right now, it's only a writing knife, albeit an unusual one. But I can feel it. The more words written, the heavier my knife and pen become. Perhaps we're all the same. We discover the answer to who we are in that primordial void. Then we understood the meaning of our existence in the mortal realm. This is what proves we are different from it. Perhaps there will come a day when our strength exceeds its. Then we can truly break free from its influence and live as ourselves. As long as we don't forget who we are, of course. What are you thinking on, brother?
Don't worry about it.
Sometimes I feel like you and I are the least compatible amongst our siblings. Plots and plans are things to be kept inside one's heart, but words and language are for expressing what lie in one's heart. But sometimes I feel like you hide nothing from me, that I can see all that you think. Interesting, isn't it? We both found what we wanted to devote ourselves to, only to have it reshape our personalities in return. Shu always says I'm obsessed with the past, and I remember the deathly white that she talked about, which lies at the end of the future. She was right. One cannot pretend to be carefree when there are things that one cannot let go of. I know you're worried about the unknowable future. Victory and defeat are what you're most obsessed about. But it would be such a miserable existence if there was nothing but victory and defeat. Besides that, what is it you care about the most?
I do not obsess about victory and defeat. I simply do not like to accept that a game could not be won.
By the way, are you reporting to the Sui regulator tomorrow? Could you take these copied books with you? They'll need to review them before they can be archived in the Sky Mirror Pavilion.
Very well.
And take another look at the recopied Jiang for me. Bring the writing knife too, so you can correct any mistakes.
Anything you've written hardly needs me to check it.
Consider it an activity to pass the time. You spend so much time devising military strategies, thinking of victory and defeat. A distraction would do you good. And perhaps you might find what you're looking for in the text.
Year 593.
Better to sacrifice a few stones than to lose the initiative. One wrong move, and all is lost. And all is lost. Lost.
So you found me. You've been following me for quite a while. Show yourself. Wang looks back. The mixture of weeping and lament moves away gradually, but it does not stop for even an instant. Let me see what you've got. Wang follows the eerie voice to a decrepit weiqi stall. A man, presumably the owner of the stall, sits on the ground weeping. There is no one around.
One wrong move, and all is lost. And all is lost.
Before Wang has a chance to take in the situation at the weiqi board, the man falls upon it and begins to wail, sending stones flying. Ridiculous. As Wang turns around to leave, the man's crying begins to abate.
Don't go, sir. Please, I'll set up the board again. This game cost me my life savings, my home, my farm, even my family scattered, and some of them died because of it. I am very sick and don't have long to live. A game of weiqi that cost me my home, my family, my life. I couldn't let it go. Take a look for me, if you can find a solution. Perhaps fate can still be changed.
The man goes from sobbing to howling. As Wang stands motionless, the man picks up the stones from the ground and quickly sets up the board. Setup, probe, entrap, sacrifice, fight, exchange. The man's hands move at a breathtaking pace. The game begins to grow as though it is alive, the war raging from the corners to the center, then to the other side which still lies empty, so fast the eyes can hardly keep up. Before Wang can react, the man has put a black stone in his hand.
Your turn, sir.
How?
Yes, how indeed. Black and white shrift taken turns placing stones, but no black stone can be seen on the board once you hold one. How should the game proceed?
This is ridiculous. I'll take my leave.
You ought to understand, sir. This board is like an abyss. Every white stone is the size of a mountain, while the black ones that I have presumptuously placed upon it are no more than game pieces. We are so far from the board that even the mountains are no greater than the size of a thumb. How could we possibly see a tiny weiqi stone? I held on as long as I could, but at this point I was dazed and exhausted. One wrong move.
The man begins to weep bitterly again.
And all is lost. Look, I gave each stone a name, but I couldn't save any of them. There is no way out for any of them. This one is Sure. This one is Wang. This one is Ling. This one is Jun.
Wang draws his blade and stabs at one of the white stones, only for it to make a sharp cracking sound as it bends, as though he were stabbing a boulder.
Pointless, like striking a rock with an egg. Why did I play this game? I shouldn't have. Well, why?
The sword turns and pierces the man's throat. He slumps to the ground, but no blood flows from the wound. The weeping grows even louder, though it is no longer intelligible. The man's eyes glow with a strange expression. Is it fear or joy? He stares straight at Wang's face. Wang instinctively reaches for the writing knife on his belt, but stops midway. Finally, he ponders for a moment and puts the black stone in his hand, on the board. All is lost? Nonsense. Set it here, and the game remains a toss-up. No sooner have the words left Wang's mouth than the body on the ground turns into smoke, and the invisible black stones on the board reveal themselves. Mr. Wang! You... I watched you stand in front of the door to the Sui regulator before turning around again. I came to find you as I thought you might have met with a strange happening too. Strange happening? You already know? Yes. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. There was a madman here crying about some omen of misfortune. He didn't make any sense. Where is he? Vanished. His weiqi game remains. Understood. I'll have someone copy it down. One more thing. The supervisor says Jie should be about done with the book copying, and that you probably brought the copies. Have you? Here. One moment please, while I count them. 3 poetry anthologies for a total of 32 scrolls, 5 volumes on philology for a total of 60 scrolls, 1 volume on divination for a total of 5 scrolls. This is the Jijujiang. Looks like it got mixed in with the divination books. Jie is such a genius. She wrote this in a single night, all 1,400 words of it, without a single character repeated. Her calligraphy is still so beautiful. There is truly no equal. The candle holder heaps praise upon the scroll. Wang follows his gaze and sees an empty piece of paper. I remember this. 500 years ago, in the capital. The first time she proposed an actionable hypothesis for destroying Sui. She gave me the writing knife, but I don't remember what the article was about, what she wanted to tell me. Huh. But repeat, did you mean making me repeat the events of the past in dream?
Only to make you see for yourself how many fantasies have appeared in your dreams over the past 1,000 years. Dreams about destroying me. Dreams that were doomed to fail. I should turn these memories into a cage and drown you in the shame of countless failures. See now all the memories that you have forgotten.
You forgot?
Sorry.
It's nothing. I'm just thinking too much. If the Sui regulator didn't say anything, I would like to have my writing knife back. I don't know why you always seem so aloof. We don't see each other very often. Are you not happy at all? I wonder if you'd regret it, if one of us suddenly disappeared forever. I'd rather not be called the fifth Sui my entire life, as if its mark were still on me. The ones who created characters helped me think of one to use as a name. Could you read this for me, brother?
I shall write it and recite it for you. The characters and come together to form Mr. Wang, is something the matter? I remembered something. My sister said she did the Jijujiang in a hurry and asked me to check it for errors. I forgot. Give me some time. Not a problem. I'll leave this one for now then. It's getting late. You can bring it back tomorrow. A cage of memories. Ridiculous. You won't get your wish. The sky has completely darkened by the time the proxy arrives at the inn. Yi, Ju, Qi, Gu, Yu, Zhong, Yi, Lu, Li, Du, Wu, Ming, Qing, Ji. The Jijujiang is distinctive, unlike other books. It lists the names of many things and persons. I should have remembered. A breeze turns the pages. Wang seems to see a piece of paper in a different color on the back cover. She was then trying to tell me something. Wang picks up the thin booklet from the table and opens it. yi, jiu, qi, gu, yu, zhong, yi, luo, li, ju, wu, ming, jing, zi. The Jiju Jiang is distinctive. Unlike other books, it lists the names of many things and persons. Fen, bie, bu, ju, bu, jia, jie, yang, li, yue, xiao, cheng, kuai, yi, mian, li, wu, ji, bi, yu, xi. They are classified into different sections by kind, so that nothing is confused or mixed together. With but little time expended, it suffices for daily use, truly to one's satisfaction. If one studies it with diligence, one is sure to taste the delight of success. These should have been the words written on the first page. These were the words when Wang scanned the page for the first time. But now the paper is covered in strange ink markings. Wang instinctively raises the writing knife and aims it at the first fierce-looking Sui on the page.
One wrong move.
Huh? Who's there?
And all is lost.
The wind howls outside the window, but there is no one there. Still trying to be our nightmare. The same old tricks from centuries ago. Have you not grown tired of it yet?
When at a disadvantage, seek a draw.
There is no such thing as a draw between us.
When in danger, make sacrifices.
In your dreams. The writing knife strikes the first Sui. Wang has used his sister's writing knife before. A slight cut, and the incorrect word is completely erased, leaving the page intact. But he feels a great resistance, as though he is trying to scrape a boulder, a mountain even. He tightens his not too strong arms and pushes down. A crack of thunder outside the window. The first Sui finally disappears. The paper is blank for a moment, then the word that Jie wrote is revealed. The lines intentionally plain, yet vigorous to make for easier recognition by learners. The lone Yi stands eerie amongst the page full of Sui. Yi. Is that it? Is smearing and dabbing the worst you can do?
Do not seem enthused.
Huh. Wang takes aim at the second Sui and scrapes it. The resistance seems even stronger than the first time. Jiu. The night wind invades the room, trying to turn the page, but Wang keeps the paper firmly under his palm. Qi. Gu. The room starts to shake violently as the fourth word reveals itself. You. The thunder outside rumbles endlessly, accompanied by constant lightning. Zhong. A bolt of lightning strikes the inn, setting it ablaze. Yi. The room burns fiercely, but Wang remains at the desk, utterly focused on cutting the page. Each Sui requires greater exertion than the last. Each time a Sui is erased, a different hellish vision appears around them. The sky sunders, the earth trembles, winds shriek and thunder roars, and fires burn red and bright. The beams, the bed, the desk, the shelves, until there is nothing in the room left to burn, and even the ground has been burned through. Wang can feel himself drop straight down like a stone, but his hands do not stop. Scorching heat. Freezing cold. Suffocation. Isolation. 100, 300, 500, 1000. 1393. 1394. The last Sui is erased, and he finds himself in the dark room again. Nothing in the room has changed, except for Wang sitting in the middle of the room, his face gaunt and yellow, his clothes tattered, as though he physically journeyed through all these hellish visions.
What other weiqi wisdom do you have? Spit it out, won't you?
Silence. Wang turns the page. There is indeed a paper between the last page and the back cover. It is not words that are written on it, but a 19 by 19 weiqi board drawn with writing ink.
Not a classic match, but a handicap game of clearly mismatched sides. Wait, this is...
It's one thing to make me play weiqi with you because you're bored, dear brother. It's another to use the stones to form the character for bored. As if that would help me against you. Why don't you find something else to pass the time? If it's not really a weiqi game that you're after, go hiking. Learn an instrument. I could teach you calligraphy, if it comes down to that. Oh? What thoughts did you read this time?
There are words on the other side.
Through the paper, one can see that the writing is different from the simple, straightforward lines that she used when copying for learners. It is the unique style of calligraphy that she uses when writing to her siblings. He flips the paper over, trying to see what the message he never managed to see was. But every word is covered by the Sui character, even thicker and fiercer than the ones he has just erased.
Same old tricks? Fine. Let's see what tricks you've got, other than illusions and parlor tricks.
Once again, Wang stabs the Sui, covering the page with the writing knife, wiping away a little smear on the top right of the word. No unusual phenomena occurs, except the red blood that begins to flow from his right shoulder.
Ugh. To kill you is to kill me. Is that so? Suits me just fine.
One stab, and the wound on his shoulder opens up. Another stab, and the wound deepens to reach the bone. Another stab, and another.
Missing words? Let's see. What's the word? I can't remember. In October, I'll be 9. Supervisor, urgent report for the Sky Mirror Pavilion. All records pertaining to the Feather Mood are...
Perhaps the blood has gotten into his eyes, where it seems like the Sui character covering the page has begun to move, as though it is alive. The ink seems to fear the writing knife, shifting back and forth among the names of the 12 proxies. It stops on the Wang character. Wang pauses and presses his bloody right side with his left hand, then resolutely points the writing knife back at the word that covers everything. The ink is so black it seems to shine, reflecting half of Wang's silhouette.
The last cut.
The writing knife glows bright. The proxy pours his entire spirit into it, waiting for it to strike his own name. Ha! The ink on the page dissipates completely, revealing the beautiful calligraphy beneath. But the proxy can see it no more. He falls to the ground, covered in blood, so thin and gaunt, he hardly seems human. He has stopped breathing. I wanted to kill myself. I have gotten my wish. After more than a century of plotting since your last failed attempt, this is how it ends. I, the strategist, I, the schemer. You're delusional. The proxy stands beside his bloody corpse on the floor, perfectly unharmed, as he was when he entered the tomb of Sui. The body on the ground dissipates like the morning dew, until only 3 shining black stones are left. Until they too disintegrate.
Burning yourself into weiqi stones. This was your idea.
3 black stones in exchange for killing you once. A fair trade.
Pathetic. You are fooling yourself.
Fooling myself? I've visited many of your kind. I know how incomprehensible you are. How incomprehensible we are. I know about the faint consciousnesses that were born from the primordial void. And I know how they have transformed themselves into colossal entities in the course of an infinity. Time, space, quantity, structure, the things that mortals take for granted, the things that seem to be everlasting, unchangeable, are merely a temporary ruse for you. I have seen one of your kind continue to disrupt what should have been the calm flow of time, even though it had died long ago and had been turned into a machine at the hands of others.
And you still dream of killing me?
Perhaps you have no need to die, but you will fall into eternal slumber, Sui, the dreamer of evolution. Mankind has no use for your arrogant design, and I have no use for your endless dream. Every death in your memory is real, a genuine death of a small part of your enormous consciousness. Don't believe me? Think back to the day I encountered that madman, back when your methods were so primitive they were downright laughable. What did I do? Did I give the book back to the Sui regulator? Did I destroy it? What was written in it? Was it really a book? See? You've forgotten.
You dare!
Your memory has died. The price you paid in exchange for 3 black stones. To be precise, you died by the writing knife imbued with a proxy's entire life force. He scraped clean every instance of the Sui character across all Great Yan, and with it any trace that a creature called Sui ever existed.
The recklessness, the blasphemy.
I would do it again. Had I the writing knife in my hand right now, I would be happy to create for you a nightmare from which you would never wake, even at the cost of my own life.
You cannot. The more much of me you kill, the more you think you have weakened me, and the sooner I will wake.
I know. Death hurts. Each and every one of your memories is real. They are happening somewhere. The pain of your death cuts straight to the heart.
What about you? What can you do?
I will continue the game until neither of us can ever rise again.
Holy moly, that is a weiqi game, alright. Okay, first off, I know what you want to hear here. Hold on, we have one enemy, then we'll get to it. Alright, so, Uproot Mountain. Script guy is born of the influence of a Sui proxy, whose original name was Strength. The history is right. Cold wind howls, for the brave never returned. Their names are forgotten to history, but their legacies remain in a nation secure. So long as their strength holds, the way home shall be found. We finally get to see her. We finally get to properly see Die. Now, we did already get to see her over the last several months. Again, for people who have not played through IS6, one of the endings actually shows a portrait. Now, as a reminder, anything to do with a proxy, when they die or when they basically got recalled back into the body of Sui because they're all part of its consciousness, anything to do with them disappears. No one remembers, no one knows. Anything that the Sui themselves creates also disappears. Pretty much anything to do with them is just gone. But that one portrait in that one specific place in the Garden of Groutesqueries is still there, but it's slowly deteriorating, kind of like a sign of that is as much of her as there is still in kind of holding on to dear life, essentially, inside of the Sui. Kind of holding on to dear life and to its own existence inside of the thing. At least that's how it feels to me. But yeah, we did get to see her face kind of partially, because the picture in question is, the portrait in question essentially is flaked away and it's slowly deteriorating as time progresses onward. And yeah, as we've seen in those endings as well, that is a big goal of what Wang is trying to achieve here. Not only trying to kill the Sui, seemingly also trying to get a missing sister back somehow. Now, will this happen? I have no idea. It would be kind of like crazy if they actually managed to somehow pull her back out. That would be very crazy if that happens by the end of this story. And if that happens, let's put it this way. Seeing her around the table interacting with you and then Wang also walks in was already very emotional, I will not lie. Again, this is a build-up of like 8 stories and the Garden of Groutesqueries with all the stories around Jie. So I think there's gonna be in the clip section a couple of moments where I'm trying to brace myself and stop myself from like going in a too emotional direction. But it was definitely a scene to see. Like, good God. Again, I go into these stories blind, so I have no idea what to expect and who to see and who is gonna make an appearance. So yeah, her appearing, showing how she is as a person and everything. Very emotional is honestly the best way to describe that moment. Plus, also seeing that she definitely, I mean, it was already indicated mostly through IS6, but it was also very indicated that she was definitely involved in very heavily involved in the conflict that took her life some time ago. So seeing her here preparing something with her brother and subtly nudging him towards stuff, plus giving him that very interesting knife. That knife, by the way, is something else. Again, as we know, every sibling pretty much kind of inherits a portion of the Sui's, not just personality that showcases through them, but also a portion of its power, essentially, which in every single person is gonna manifest in a different way, right? But seems that Jie picked up picked up the erasure power from him. That is very interesting. The knife is imbued with her power and is capable of pretty much erasing a word out of existence and out of the memory of everything. Pretty much erasing not just the word, but probably also the thing out of existence, which is, again, pretty much the same thing that happens to them when they get erased. So that she, who seems to be such a gentle person, has inherited that power. First off, very cliche in a sense, but also makes also very crazy sense that she would have the power. But my god, that is one hell of a power to inherit. Jesus. And well, that thing is definitely gonna be playing a role into the whole thing, which is gonna be even more interesting. And more importantly, it is that knife that is the very thing that Chen has in her sprite. So, well, I guess that is a very big hint that at some point she's gonna be doing something with this knife thingy. Considering that she also has the thing not only in her sprite here on this screen, but also in her promotion on her altar. So very interesting. Very interesting. This story is definitely gonna be quite something when we get to later parts. But for now, this is gonna be it for part number 1. Hope you all have enjoyed. Hope you all have enjoyed the extra bits that have been put in throughout the whole thing. As of right now, as I'm recording this, I do not know which of the parts that I have prepared already on the side are gonna be put in. That's gonna be part of editing. But hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully they helped as well to give you a bit more context. And yeah, thank you very much. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like. It will help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more and for all the other Arknights stuff and all the other stuff as well if you're interested. And yeah, if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. Like I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's purely there for support. So thank you very much to all the people already supporting. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the clip section, and I will see you in the next part. Bye bye. Are we finally gonna see how this fucker looks? Are we gonna finally see how Wei's brother actually looks? They're not showing the face here, but judging by the hands, his brother is way more human in appearance. Actually, we did see his hands before, so yeah, that makes sense. His hands were shown in the U story, the last one, when he was picking up the bowl with food. I just never... I don't think back then I really thought about it. Yeah, he's probably gonna have a more human appearance then because of his hands. Because Wei is way more dragon-like throughout his entire body. Like he's pretty much just as in other fictional media, he would literally just be called a beast folk, essentially. But yeah, same tail, same primary color scheme with the orange, which makes sense. I can't remember the horns on Wei. Would have to remember. Would have to look at him. He's probably gonna appear anyway in the story at some point. But interesting. Considering they're showing his model right now, I do hope they're gonna be showing his actual face later down the line. This would be the time. This is like, is it the 8th or the 9th? The ninth story. Yeah, 9 stories in. It would be the time to actually finally show this guy. Okay. Oh, it's our squad from the garden. Okay. Okay, let's see what you guys are. Actually, this background is one of the backgrounds used in the endings of the Garden of Groutesqueries. Let's see if they're actually still inside. I feel like we've done it all multiple times, and also, this is interesting. So, in the Garden of Groutesqueries, right? They all pretty much, well, pretty much all endings are taking place back to back to back to back, essentially. But the way the first couple of them are formed and some phrases are done in there, it made you believe, and this is playing into what he's saying right now. It makes you believe that when you read it that it's a yearly thing, like they're doing it year by year by year by year by year, and not in such a quick succession. So what they are saying here is essentially all of the endings that are witnessable in the Garden of Groutesqueries are essentially taking place back to back to back to back, like in a very quick fire repetition, essentially, without them noticing that they have been doing it for such a short period of time, essentially. Very, very interesting and very fitting. That place is very, very much playing with your senses. You don't really realize how much time you've been spending in there. A small object falls from Zuola's pocket. To everyone's surprise, it is no jade rule, but a tiny doll. Oh! Oh shit, it's the thing from the current ending. Yeah, also just a note right now, I still haven't completed ending 5 yet. If I'm gonna be... Jesus Christ. If I'm gonna be lucky while I'm doing these recordings, because I'm gonna be doing more streams to try ending 5. But if I'm gonna be lucky, maybe in the middle of all of these recordings, like, I don't know, maybe the last episode or 2 of this are actually gonna be after I complete that ending and see what is in that ending, because all of the Sui Garden of Groutesqueries stuff is seemingly, well, it's not just seemingly, it's literally just a retelling or telling a story, essentially, that is taking place in between the last story collection that was part of this whole narrative and yeah, here where we are right now. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, back to the question marks. Where are we now? Oh, Chen, okay. This is a Chen memory. Weizen voice and Sullen voice. Okay. Is this a memory, or is this something she is, like, witnessing in, like a dream right now? I wonder. Oh, hello. Back at the pagoda, huh? Yo, plain dressed elder. Oh, I think I know who the guy on the right is. The guy, he has the same horn as, oh shit, I would have to... Hold on, I can actually look at it. Where did I save that picture? Yeah, it is the same horn. Okay, the guy on the right is probably the proxy of the giant, what would be a good word? The giant bison, buffalo, whatever the fuck, the giant beefy burden beast like Faramut from that we've seen in IS5. Yeah, it's literally the same horn. Right. Okay, so this is probably his proxy. Very interesting. Okay. The story did indicate that the two of them that this one survived, but is the guy on the left then the other Frermut? He is the playable guy. I know that his operator name is Yu, as in J-U. So I guess it could be. There are similarities in. Actually, yeah, it is him. The literal telltale sign is the little dot for the eye, the circle shapes around him, and well, the mechanical look to him as well. that Fairwood looked very like mechanical, honestly, in that sense. Yeah. Huh, I didn't know that this guy is a Fairwood then, if that's the case. If that is them, I'm just speculating on the pictures given. Okay. Very interesting. Huh. Very, very interesting. Oh, hello? Aloof woman. Who the fuck are you now? Uh-huh. Alright, we're using Chen's, Chen's alter form immediately. Alright. Actually, her alter form is kind of very... God, I need to look at that sprite again. But it's very similarly designed to the sprite that appeared in... fuck, which story was that? Vernal Winds, right. That's where she appeared practically the last time and had a sort of role to play. And yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the alter form is kind of based on the design of that. I've been here before. Actually, yeah, where the fuck are you? And it ends. Okay. Okay, very interesting start. Very interesting start. 3 days before the day of the full moon. Jesus Christ, okay, jump scare. Excuse me, game. Can we not? Oh, she did visit them at the farm. Oh wow, they're actually using this here. Actually, are they gonna show Tallulah in that outfit right now? just to show off that that she did make it all the way here. Yo, what am I looking at? That is a very distinct Yanese building. The fuck was that thing? Oh, is that the contingency plan that the old guy just literally mentioned? The Grand Tutor just mentioned to Wei Yenwu? Is that where this... I can't remember what they called it, boss something. Where they hit that thing? Or where it activates from, maybe? Zunle goes around the checkpoint, but as he turns the corner, he spots someone who should not be there. Who are you? Who is this guy? What is with that drip? Okay, he's definitely from... the Sui regulators. Actually, yeah, his name is Mask Candleholder. Oh, they're playing this music? Wow. Oh, wow. I just realized, isn't this the music that plays in that one trailer? Damn. I don't think that... Yeah, I don't think this track was ever used in any of the stories so far. It was only in that music, in that trailer, one special trailer. Huh. Oh, she's here. Oh, she is here. The chick from the Shanghai Zhong is here. Oh, okay. Oh. Hi. Hi, sibling alert. Purple looking sibling. Which one are you? Which one are you? What the fuck? What are these? Fall back! Oh hey, Junior Drill Master, you're you're back. My goodness, where did this army come from? They're headed our way. Help! Yo. Okay, definitely sibling. Definitely sibling. Dignified woman, huh? Okay. Holy shit, she's so purple. She's so purple. Which number are you gonna be, I wonder? I wonder. In the name of the Shanghai Zhong, I beseech thee, 5th of the 12th, bearing the name Die, manifest. Whoa, excuse me? Is she actually gonna appear? She holds the token with a stern expression and recites her chant, but it seems as if nothing is happening. Okay, maybe not. 2 days before the day of the full moon, hour of Chen. Hour of Chen, okay, that's interesting. Yo. Okay, we get to see you. Aloof woman. Okay, who are you gonna be? You're definitely someone who seems to be in charge of the pavilion. I'm guessing by the ring around around your staff that resembles the ring behind you. Okay. One wrong move, and all is lost. Let's begin with the name you, shall we? This is a weird sentence to place here. Sure, let me think. Yu Rin Ra Liang. The sound lingers upon the beams. Okay. You? What's happening here? Where are you now? Liang. Liang. What idiom begins with Liang? Oh! 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 Oh, okay. 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 Interesting, they're actually showing her, huh? Alright. Okay. Huh. What are we playing into here? Are they really gonna end this story in the very plan that the E and Wang have been discussing in the Garden of Groutesqueries? Are they really gonna be yoinking her out of the Sui? I'm probably gonna talk about this in the episode anyway, but for anybody listening to this part right now, in the Garden of Groutesqueries, one of the reveals in one of the endings was that after she died, she became the new heart of the Sui Faranmut, essentially, basically becoming part of him, yet in a sense still maintaining how to best put it, not really herself, but her essence is still technically in place, I guess, which seems to be something that E and Wang have been trying to get a grasp on, trying to bring her back, essentially. The plan is so multi-faced at this point that it's kind of crazy. Basically keeping themselves alive with the artificial Sui heart, somehow whatever you can against the Sui, but also at the same time yoink her out of the Sui if possible. If they succeed with this shit, this whole ending is gonna be, if the story ends in this part right now, it's gonna be a crazy ending. It's gonna be a crazy ending. I mean, Enfield currently, without spoiling anything of course, Enfield currently is going through some crazy Sui stuff when it comes to that lore. So yeah, I'm expecting crazy shit from this story. Pillar of Society. We're playing... playing word games here. Is this how she came up with the names for them? She was basically doing a Rimuru and just looking around herself and be like, I'm gonna name you by this thing, or by this series, or by I don't know. I read a crazy story once. Let me name you something absolutely insane. This is funny. You can preserve something forever if you write it on paper? Sadly, no. Paper can last a while if handled well, but it will crumble. It will crumble after a while. Yeah, exactly. Yes or no. There we go. Oh. Oh. Not gonna lie. We had a very, very long, very long build-up with the character of Gia. This is and spending time with the siblings and how much they obviously miss her but can't remember her as well. This is actually making me a bit emotional. I will not lie. Just seeing her interact with just one of the siblings is crazy. This is actually crazy to see. You're both here? Oh, who is this now? Who is... Oh. Oh. Okay. It's a family gathering. This is wholesome. This is very wholesome. Oh. Oh. Oh, that is so cute. That is so cute. He's hiding behind his big sister. Oh, the baby. He really is the baby of the group. That is adorable. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. This is the background to enter the Sui consciousness in IS6 in Garden of Groutesqueries. Okay, that's a very cool little reuse of a background. But now the paper is covered in strange ink markings. Yikes! One stab and the wound in his shoulder opens up. Another stab and the wound deepens to reach the bone. Ah! Brother! Chill! Another stab. And another. Ugh! He falls to the ground, covered in blood. So thin and gaunt, he hardly seems human. He has stopped breathing. Oh, yo, what the fuck? Rip? You're delusional. The proxy stands beside his bloody corpse on the floor, perfectly unharmed as he was when he entered the tomb of Sui. Okay, yeah, makes sense. They're playing weiqi and they're playing it on another level. The Sui is basically, what would be the best way? Probably as they're playing this game against each other, the reality around them is shifting to basically our reality representing the game board and how things are going. And I guess he lost this round, considering his death. I know about the faint consciousness that were born from the primordial void. Consciousnesses, multiple. Okay. And I know how they have transformed themselves into colossal entities. Okay, so the origin of the Faramut comes from the primordial void. Okay. Makes sense. Go on. Time, space, quantity, structure. The things that mortals take for granted, the things that seem to be everlasting, unchangeable, are merely a temporary roost for you. I've seen one of your kind continue to disrupt what should have been the calm flow of time, even though it had died long ago and been burned into a machine at the hands of others. The whale, the skeletal whale. Oh, so that's why it looks mechanical. That's why it looks mechanical. Okay. How did he describe it again? Has become from blah, 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 died long ago and been turned. Okay. Okay. So it was turned into the machine. Its skeletal structure was because it was turned into that thing after its death. Okay. That is crazy. I will continue the game until neither of us can ever rise again. Damn, that is a proclamation. That is a fucking proclamation, buddy. So yeah, he's basically going through... He's basically going through a... what the... Oh, we're going back up. So yeah, he's basically going through a... suicidal bullshit to get him done. To get him done in... Interesting. Little floating things here on the side. Oh yeah, I also just realized down here on the square that is a face. That is a face that is completely distorted in the middle. Yikes. So what do we have actually here on the background now that I have a bit of a better look here? The first tile here is by Baizao. The one thing on the top I forgot its name, but the pavilion, whatever the hell, doesn't matter right now. Don't know what the thing below is? It's... Oh, is it like a frontal look at the door? No, I don't think so. I'm thinking of the door because of the little slit, white slit there. Maybe not, maybe that's something else? Not sure. And I have no idea what the shit is happening here on the right. I'm gonna have to wait until until this whole thing moves. Okay, but interesting stuff. Interesting.